Black and white photography, black and white portraiture has been the backbone of the Walden brand since I was a child. I've worked most of my life in trying to perfect the black and white print the best I can. Coming out of a darkroom at 12 years old, learning from a master printer, spending decades of my life in a darkroom trying to perfect the black and white print, earning my fellowship degree with 25 hand-printed black and whites. It has been my passion, it's been my desire, it's been my calling in life to not only do great portraits, but to really do them, or the majority of them, in black and white. That's who Tim Walden is. That's who Tim and Bev are. We're all about the black and white image. And for many years now, Bev has asked me, she said, Tim, you need to share with others how you do what you do. And folks, I'm not here to claim that I'm some Photoshop guru. I'm the furthest thing from it. But you know, I have a vision for where I want to be, and I learn what it takes to get there. And that's really what it boils down to. A friend of mine told me when I walked out of the darkroom and started actually delivering prints in a digital capture and print format, they said, Tim, because of your experience in the darkroom, knowing what a black and white should look like, knowing where you need to be, having the vision for it, you will be great digitally in doing that, because the greatest part's knowing what you want. And you know, there was so much truth to that. Our goal has always been that the black and whites we produce today hang on the walls of our clients all over the country. And not one time do I ever want to hear, or have I heard, they don't look the same. They're not just right. If anything, they're better. And I'm so proud that 9 years ago, when we made this shift over to digital capture and digital printing, giclée printing and so forth, that not one time has a client done anything but brag on the pieces we've done. And I think a lot of that has to do with knowing what we've done, knowing what we want. So we spent a lot of time, I've spent a lot of time over the last 9 years learning how I want to get from that capture to the black and white print. And Bev's been, you need to share that. So now we're doing that. We've put together a packet for you of videos, audio, presets that work with Silver Effects 2, the Nick Silver Effects 2, and combine that with also an audio teaching, and put together what I believe is a packet that if you really want to learn how to produce beautiful black and whites, this will certainly get you on your way there. It'll challenge you, it'll push you, and it'll equip you, more importantly, on creating great black and white. So we call it the Walden Black&White SIlver Course, and it's now available to you. We talk about things like tonal range. How do you get full tonal range in your black and whites? From blacks, that's one of the things we talk about, is the fact that great black and whites, you establish a black when you should have it, and it's certainly not on a high key, but most of the mid key, low key, most images have a black. We want to establish that black, keep it rich, but we want to hold detail throughout. And then we want to expand the tones so that we get full tonality. We talk about how to do that post-capture. We talk about how to do that with color space. We talk about lighting, how lighting kind of plays a role in that. So we take you all the way through the process of that post-capture building a really beautiful black and white. And we also give you some nuggets on the capture and a little bit on some of the lighting and how you get tone out of lighting and clothing in the set to make a beautiful, beautiful black and white. I look at this image on the left, and my father created that in the early 1960s, shooting a 4x5 negative and hand printing this on silver gelatin paper in the darkroom. That's who trained me. And one of the things he taught me was how important lighting was to expanding the tone. And then your job post-capture is fulfilling all of that tonal range on that piece of paper, so that you work from blacks to whites and all the shades in between. And so the image on the right, you can see how we have beautiful blacks, beautiful midtones, multiple shades of gray, and beautiful crisp highlights down our subject. So we talk a little bit about that, although most of what we're going to be teaching is how post-capture to get the most and to fulfill your vision for your black and whites. We're going to talk a little bit about what you're capturing on, Should you use raw? What are the post-processing processes that we use? We're going to talk a little bit about 16-bit and about color space. What does that mean to a great black and white? Is that important? And we're going to talk about how do you take beautiful captures like this into beautiful black and whites that just pop off of the page with rich, full tonal range, painterly feels, ivory skin tones, and just dynamic look. We're real proud of this package we put together. It's 2.5 hours of video. It's screen video where I actually walk you through. There's 10 different ones, equaling over 2.5 hours of teaching and demonstrating. There's a 50+ minute audio on what is a great black and white. What are the things that are important? And I really wanted that to be an audio so there wasn't a visual distraction. I wanted you to listen to the things that I used to listen to when my father taught me about great black and white. There's 3 practice files, and we've used all of those files in our demonstration along with others, but 3 of them, so you'll be able to see what I did with them and then practice that yourself. And there's 26 presets. We call them the Walden Silver presets. They're presets that I have built over the last several years for doing all kinds of great black and white technique, and you have to have the NIC Silver Effects Pro 2. That's what we have. But if you have that, you could drop these presets in and you're off and running. So you want to make sure you have that, and then you want to make sure you have this packet of information. And when you put the 2 together, I promise you it's going to be fantastic. It also comes with 3 actions, and they're just production actions. One's a vignette, one's the grain that I prefer, and the other's a camera diffusion, or a diffusion that represents the old diffusions that my father used to create both in the darkroom and at the camera. So that's also included with it. It's amazing. Roll up your sleeves, sit down, and let's make some great black and white images.